How to time track your day. So do you ever tell yourself that you want to get a lot done, but you actually don't get that much done? Like you tell yourself you want to get 10 things done, but you only end up getting 2 things done? Let me give you the solution for this. Most people waste their time in days because they don't have a structure. They just go by automatic habits. So they just think of, okay, what's the next best move for me? And then I just do it. They don't have a clear structure or a clear plan or clear schedule on how to track and use their days for max productivity. And even for me, like before, I didn't know where my time went. I just went autopilot mode in my life. But with this method, it gives you mental discipline and it shows you how you actually spend your time so you can best optimize your day for maximum productivity. So these are the items that you're going to need for this strategy. So you're going to need a black pen, an optional multicolor pens, 1 or 2 blank pieces of paper. You can start off with just one, and then 1 or 2 physical timers. You can also use your phone timer for this, but this is basically no distractions. But for this strategy, I'd recommend you use both physical timers and your phone timer. So now let me explain to you 4 to 5 rules for this strategy. Rule 1 is you want to track one task at a time. So for example, use the bathroom, do a quick workout, drink 1 cup of water. You want to track one task at a time. So it's super specific and you know the exact data. So you know the exact data of how long each task actually takes. Step number 2 is when you get distracted, you just simply pause the timer. And then if you want on another piece of paper, you could write the distraction reason and then I can help you find solutions for that procrastination reasons. Rule number 3 is when you're doing a long task outside of your house, like work or maybe you're going to the store, what you want to do is you write the time you start getting ready or left, where you went. So let's say work, store, and then time you got back. For this, so you wouldn't really use a physical timer for that. You'd use an actual clock to do that. So your actual times. Rule number 4 is don't worry about 100% accuracy. This is where a lot of people get stressed on, is that they try to be 100% accurate with the system and their time tracking. Doesn't need to be 100% accurate. Just try to be as accurate as you can, and if you mess up, that's okay. Just move on and try to improve next time. And then the bonus rule or tip is by doing the tasks in the same order every day, it helps you with forming habits better. So let me show you an example of how you actually do this. So on the top of the paper, you're going to write today's date. So you're going to write the month, day, and then year. Fill in those blanks. And then time tracking. So the month, the day, the year, and then time tracking. And up top over here, you're going to write time woke up and then time slept. So right when you wake up, you write the time you woke up. So let's say, for example, 7 a.m. And then you write the time slept. Example, 10:30 p.m. The sleep schedule that I want. And now let me give you an example of what your average day might look like. So this is just an example. So let's say when you wake up, you fix your bed. Let's say that takes you 7 minutes and 10 seconds. Then let's say you use the bathroom. And then let's say that takes you 11 minutes and 5 seconds. And then let's say you weigh yourself with your scale. So weigh yourself. Say that takes you 1 minute and 30 seconds. Then let's say you floss and brush your teeth. So floss and brush. Let's say that takes you 11 minutes and 30 seconds. And then let's say if you do the method I told you, which is tracking your habits with just a paper instead of an apps, it's a lot faster to set up for your habits. So let's say set up habit tracking papers. Let's say that takes you 4 minutes and 30 seconds. And then let's say you set up habit number 1. Let's say that takes you 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Then let's say habit number 1. Let's say that takes you 20 minutes. And then let's say after habit number 1, you do a quick workout so you can get some movement in, so you're not sitting too much at once. And let's say you get the equipment ready and stuff. Let's say that takes you 3 minutes and 40 seconds total. And then let's say, and then after, so for your step and track, you do this. So for example, number 1 to number 2, that basically is you set up for next habit and you track the habit track, and then you track the habit progress on a habit tracking paper. So habit number 1 to habit number 2 is set up and track. Let's say it takes you 3 minutes and 25 seconds. And then let's say habit number 2, 20 minutes. And then let's say after that it's maybe lunchtime. So you say lunch. And this includes everything that's in lunch. So it could be cooking, eating, washing the dishes, washing hands. So let's say that takes you a total of 70 minutes and 15 seconds. So this is an example what it looks like so far. Now here's some advanced strategies for this. So let's say you finish a line. So what you want to do now is you draw a line across the paper or down the paper and make sure it leaves enough space so it doesn't look too cluttered and everything looks clean. And then you continue. So let's say at number 32, you continue 33, task 33. Another reason why this is helpful is you can track your patterns over time. So for example, how much cups of water you're drinking, how often you use the bathroom, stuff like that. And then the physical timer versus a phone timer. If you're doing a very long task, like let's say lunch, that might take a while because you have to cook, you have to wash dishes, maybe it takes a while to eat. You can use a phone timer for that. But for most of the habits, especially habits at home, you just want to use a physical timer because there's no distractions with this. And again, the 2 timer strategy is you can either use 1 timer starting at 0. Just start the timer when you have the task ready, and then starting and keep going until you finish the task. Then write it down. Or if you want is you can get a second timer, and this is like it gives you like a max time for the task. So like let's say you want the max time to set for habit number 1 to habit number 2, you could give yourself a max of 5 minutes. This gives you time pressure, but if you just want to keep it simple, just use 1 timer for now. Let me explain to you 2 reasons why this works. So number 1, it helps you build mental discipline because you think of a task, for example, fix your bed, and then you go do that task. And you also have time pressure, knowing you have a timer going, and also you would track how long it took you for the task. And then the second reason why this works is because you know exactly why you procrastinate. So let's say you're doing habit number 2. If you pause the timer, you would have a procrastination reason. Then you can write it down on another piece of paper, and then you can find solutions for that. So I encourage you to try this method today and leave in the comments below if you found this helpful or not. And make sure you subscribe for more productivity and procrastination tips like this. Let's win.